Director Du Qiang's laptop exposes shocking truth behind Yu Menglong's murder, suspect in custody. What terrifying secrets were hidden inside the laptop of Director Du Qiang? And why has its discovery turned the Yu Menglong case upside down? The shocking surrender of a suspect has only deepened the mystery, leaving fans and investigators stunned. Join Red Carpet Revealed as we uncover the chilling files, the confessions, and the explosive truth they never wanted you to see. The world had barely recovered from the shock of Yu Menglong's untimely and mysterious death when an even more explosive twist shook the global stage. For months, questions lingered unanswered, and fans clung to whispers of foul play, demanding clarity in a case that seemed destined for silence. Then came the discovery that changed everything: the laptop belonging to Director Du Qiang, a man once thought to be only tangentially connected to the tragedy, contained evidence so chilling that authorities could no longer deny the shadows surrounding Yu's final days. The revelation began quietly, almost innocuously, with rumors that investigators had confiscated electronic devices from several key figures close to Yu. Yet when whispers spread that Du Qiang's personal laptop was among them, curiosity exploded into hysteria. Du Qiang, a respected filmmaker with a long career, collaborated with countless stars and held influence across the industry. His name had not been tied directly to Yu's death before, but insiders always hinted that he knew too much. That suspicion became terrifyingly real when journalists reported that hidden within the laptop were files, recordings, and messages that could finally unravel the mystery. At first, officials denied the leaks, dismissing them as baseless rumors. But the internet was relentless. Anonymous sources claimed that the laptop contained encrypted email exchanges suggesting Yu had been under surveillance. There were rumors of contracts altered without his knowledge, of blackmail attempts, and even of video clips that hinted at violent confrontations. Soon, fragments of these alleged files surfaced online, spreading like wildfire before authorities could suppress them. One grainy audio clip, purportedly featuring Yu's trembling voice, left fans shattered. "They won't let me leave. If I disappear, remember me." The reaction was immediate and visceral. Across China and beyond, fans erupted in grief and fury. Social media trended with hashtags like Du Qiang laptop and justice for Yu. Vigils turned into protests as fans demanded transparency. Murals of Yu appeared in city centers, candles flickering at their bases. His name once again dominated global headlines, not just as a fallen star but as a victim whose story was still being written. And then, as though scripted by fate, a suspect surrendered. The announcement came abruptly, and a named figure, long suspected of involvement, had turned themselves into authorities. Their confession, though heavily redacted by officials, hinted at a chilling truth. "It was bigger than me," the suspect allegedly said. "I couldn't escape it. None of us could." Those words only deepened the sense that Yu's murder was not an isolated act of violence but part of something far larger, more sinister, and far-reaching than anyone had dared to imagine. As this suspect, media outlets scrambled to uncover their identity. Some claimed it was a close associate of Yu. Others whispered about a fixer tied to the entertainment elite. What was clear, however, was that their surrender came only after news of Du Qiang's laptop hit the headlines. It was as if the device itself had forced their hand. Its contents too damning to ignore. Its secrets too dangerous to remain hidden. The story of Du Qiang's laptop soon became a symbol, an object of almost mythical power. Journalists speculated endlessly about its contents. Was there video evidence of Yu being coerced? Messages between conspirators plotting his downfall? Financial records proving corruption? The mystery of the laptop was as electrifying as it was horrifying. Even the image of its confiscation, a simple silver device carried in a sealed evidence bag, circulated online like an icon of truth. Forensic analysts, speaking anonymously, hinted that the laptop contained encrypted folders that suggested deliberate concealment. Files had been deleted, but advanced recovery tools brought them back to life. Among them were drafts of contracts, private correspondences, and one chilling folder labeled only Menglong. The folder's contents remained undisclosed to the public, but the mere existence of it sparked international outrage. Why would Du Qiang, a director with no public conflict with Yu, hold a collection of files dedicated to him? What secrets lay inside? Theories multiplied with terrifying speed. Believed Du Qiang had been recording industry dealings for protection. An use case had inadvertently been captured in the net. Others suspected Du himself was involved, his laptop serving as both weapon and shield. Still others insisted the device was planted, a scapegoat engineered to distract from even higher powers. Fog of speculation. One truth emerged: the laptop had shattered the illusion of Yu's death being anything close to ordinary. Media frenzy reached fever pitch. Television anchors framed the story as the smoking gun in a case authorities had hoped to bury. Tabloids sensationalized it with headlines like, "Laptop of Lies," "The Digital Coffin," and "Yu Speaks from Beyond." Meanwhile, reputable outlets walked a careful line, balancing the gravity of the revelations with a lack of official confirmation. Regardless, the narrative was unstoppable. The world believed that the truth behind Yu Menglong's murder was finally within reach. The emotional toll on fans was immeasurable. Many admitted they could not bear to listen to the leaked audio, fearing it would haunt them. Others replayed it obsessively, searching for hidden meaning in every trembling syllable. The idea that Yu had foreseen his fate, and left behind warnings, turned his story from tragedy into prophecy. He was no longer just a victim, he was a voice demanding justice from beyond the grave. As days passed, authorities could no longer remain silent. They confirmed that a laptop belonging to Du Qiang was indeed in custody and that it was under forensic examination. Yet their statement only deepened suspicion. Refused to release details, refused to comment on the suspect's confession, and refused to acknowledge the fragments already leaked online to the public. This secrecy was confirmation enough: something monumental was being hidden. In response, fans organized massive digital campaigns. Millions joined live streams dissecting every rumor. Independent groups of tech-savvy supporters claimed to have intercepted files before they were scrubbed. Petitions demanding full disclosure gathered signatures at record speed. Even celebrities cautiously voiced support, in that they too feared what had been buried for so long. The question on everyone's lips was not whether Yu Menglong had been murdered, that, in the court of public opinion, he decided, but who had orchestrated it, and why. The surrender of one suspect was seen not as closure but as a doorway. If one had broken, how many more lurked in silence, waiting for the walls of conspiracy to collapse? The image of Du Qiang, a respected director, now hung under suspicion. I'd wrongdoing, insisting that the laptop's contents had been taken out of context. The world was no longer listening to denials. The fact that evidence so explosive had been found in his possession overshadowed any claims of innocence. His name was now entangled permanently with Yu Menglong's, bound together in a narrative of secrecy and betrayal. Closes, the case feels more alive than ever. Its shadows longer and darker. The laptop has opened a door. The suspect's surrender has cracked the walls. The voice of Yu Menglong, once silenced, resonates across the globe louder than ever. Yet the most terrifying question remains unanswered: if the truth on the laptop is this shocking, what deeper horrors still lie within? To be revealed? For the world, the revelation has only just begun. The nightmare of Yu Menglong's death is far from over. The world watched in anticipation as the story of Du Qiang's laptop unfolded like the script of a thriller too dark to be fiction. Part 1 had ended with a suspect in custody and a laptop filled with secrets. But as forensic teams began to peel back the digital layers of Du's device, what emerged was not just shocking, it was devastating. Tearing open the fragile illusions of the entertainment industry and plunging fans into a storm of betrayal, fear, unanswered questions. Investigators confirmed what many already believed: the laptop contained far more than ordinary work files. Hidden behind encrypted partitions were folders labeled with innocuous names but filled with explosive content. One folder, innocently titled Projects, contained voice recordings that analysts later determined matched Yu Menglong's voice. In one chilling clip, Yu's words cracked with fear: "They keep telling me I can't walk away. Every time I try, they push harder. This is the end. Let someone know I didn't choose it." Those who read the leaked transcript wept openly. It was as if Yu had predicted his fate and left behind a desperate testimony. Another folder contained financial documents, contracts, transfers, and agreements. Many appeared altered, with signatures copied and pasted, dates overwritten. Independent experts argued these were signs of forgery, eventually linking Yu to deals he never agreed to. The implication was horrifying: someone had profited from his silence, and the laptop contained the receipts. Perhaps the most damning discovery was a set of video files, though most have not been released publicly. Writers claim they depicted meetings between industry figures discussing Yu's future in cold, transactional terms. One particularly disturbing clip allegedly showed a heated argument in which Yu protested against a contract clause, only to be threatened with consequences if he refused. While authorities refused to authenticate these videos, the mere suggestion was enough to ignite global outrage. Suspect who surrendered only added fuel to the fire. Initial interrogations, snippets of which were leaked. The suspect admitted to playing a role in Yu's downfall but insisted he was not the mastermind. "I was told what to do," he allegedly confessed. "It wasn't my choice. It was bigger than all of us." He refused to name the individuals behind the instructions, claiming fear for his family's safety. His words painted a picture of a conspiracy reaching far beyond a single individual, an organized effort to silence Yu permanently. Reactions worldwide were explosive. Protesters filled city streets holding laptops aloft as symbols of truth. Hashtags laptop offleys and Yu deserves justice trended globally. In Beijing, fans lit thousands of candles in front of Yu's former residence, transforming the area into a sea of flickering light. In Seoul, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and Paris, candles were held simultaneously, uniting fans across continents. For many, this tragedy had grown beyond a single star's death. It had become a global call for justice against corruption, silence, and betrayal. The entertainment industry was shaken to its core. Executives scrambled to distance themselves from Qiang, some publicly condemning him while others remained suspiciously quiet. Actors who had worked with Yu began speaking cautiously, hinting at the pressures he had faced but fearing direct confrontation. One actress, under condition of anonymity, "We all knew he was struggling. We all knew he wanted to walk away. But he thought it would cost him everything." Her words echoed the despair of many who felt trapped in an industry that thrived on control and silence. Meanwhile, Yu's father stepped into the spotlight once more, having already revealed his haunting nightmares. Now spoke directly about the laptop's discoveries. It was believed he was trying to leave us a message, told reporters, his voice trembling. "Now we hear it. He was calling for help. He wanted the truth to come out." His emotional statement further cemented the idea that Yu's voice, preserved in digital fragments, was guiding the world toward justice. Yet even as evidence mounted, skeptics persisted. Some argued the files could have been planted to frame Qiang, that the timing of the suspect's surrender was too convenient. Conspiracy theories emerged in endless streams, that the laptop was only a distraction, that the real culprits were far more powerful. Yu's death was part of a larger scheme stretching beyond the entertainment world. The ambiguity kept the case alive in headlines, podcasts, documentaries, and nightly debates. The psychological toll of the revelations grew heavier by the day. Fans reported being unable to sleep, haunted by Yu's leaked words. Some described feeling as though he was speaking directly to them from beyond the grave, urging them not to give up. Shrines to Yu multiplied, covered in flowers, letters, and photographs. For many, his tragedy had transcended fame. He had become a martyr, a symbol of innocence betrayed, of truth buried, courage silenced. As investigators pressed forward, the figure of Qiang remained ambiguous. Was he a villain, a witness, or a scapegoat? His denials grew louder, insisting the laptop was misinterpreted, that files had been manipulated. Few believed him. His silence before, desperation now, only deepened suspicion. The more he protested, the more the world wondered what role he had truly played in Yu's final days. Ultimately, the case reached a moment of chilling clarity. The laptop was not just a device, it was a graveyard of secrets. Each file another nail in the coffin of silence. Discovery proved that Yu Menglong's death was no accident, no isolated tragedy. It was the result of betrayal, greed, and power struggles hidden in plain sight. And though one suspect had surrendered, and observers agreed, the true masterminds were still free, their shadows still looming. The dust settled, one thing became undeniable: Yu Menglong's voice had returned. Through fragments of recordings, his father's dreams, through the courage of fans who refused to be silenced. Still speaking. The fight for justice was not over, but it had begun with greater force than ever before. The story ends, not with closure, but with an open wound. Director Qiang's laptop has cracked open the case. What lies beyond that door is a darkness still waiting to be revealed. Suspect in custody is only the beginning. The true architects of Yu Menglong's murder remain hidden. Their names whispered in fear. Power undiminished. But Yu's legacy is stronger than silence. His voice, trembling yet unbroken, will continue to echo until the world finally listens. They tried to bury the truth in shadows. But the laptop has exposed it to the light. And once exposed, it cannot be silenced again. And Yu Menglong's death is no longer just a tragedy, it is a mirror reflecting betrayal, silence, and the terrifying cost of hidden power. The discovery of Director Du Qiang's laptop and the chilling surrender of a suspect have shaken the world. But the true shadows remain. Carpet revealed. We believe stories like Yu's must never be buried. His voice, preserved in recordings, whispers, and the courage of those who refuse silence, continues to echo. Justice may be delayed. It cannot be denied forever. We thank you, our readers, for standing with us through every revelation, every painful truth, and every haunting question. Together, we will keep the flame alive and shine light into the darkness they fear most. Thank you for reading.